Porsche just did something to the 911 Turbo S that's going to split its own fan base in half. The 2027 model isn't a gentle refresh. It's the most radical rethink of this nameplate in decades, and buried inside the engineering is a decision so controversial that longtime Porsche loyalists are already arguing about it online before the car has even hit dealerships. Stick with me, because at the end of this video I'm revealing exactly what that decision is, and why it might change the identity of the Turbo S forever. Let's start with the obvious stuff, because even from a distance, this car looks different. The silhouette is still unmistakably 911U, that sloped roofline, those round headlights, the rear haunches that have barely changed in over half a century. But the 2027 Turbo S wears a noticeably wider stance than before, with active aero elements built so seamlessly into the bumpers that most people won't even notice them until they deploy at speed. The front splitter now works in tandem with a redesigned rear wing that adjusts automatically, shifting between efficiency mode and full downforce depending on how aggressively you're driving. This isn't just a styling refresh. This is a car constantly recalculating physics in real time, adjusting itself before you even realize you needed it to. Under the rear deck sits Porsche's most refined twin-turbo flat-six yet, now paired with an electric hybrid boost system that Porsche insists doesn't compromise the raw mechanical character this platform has been famous for since the 70s. And that's a bold claim, because purists have feared hybrid technology creeping into the 911 lineup for years. Porsche's answer is instant torque fill from the electric motor, combined with turbo response that used to take a noticeable beat longer to build. The result is acceleration that doesn't just feel fast, it feels immediate, almost violent, in the best possible way a performance car can be violent. Now, before we get into performance numbers, let's pause for a second. If you're someone who actually appreciates precision engineering explained properly, instead of recycled numbers copied straight from a press release, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button, drop a like on this video, because this channel breaks these cars down the way real enthusiasts actually want them explained. Alright, back to the numbers, because they're genuinely worth talking about. 0 to 60 comes in under 2.5 seconds, a figure that used to belong exclusively to hypercars costing well over $500,000. Top speed pushes past 205 miles an hour, and Porsche's engineers didn't just chase a bigger number for marketing purposes. They obsessed over how the car behaves once it gets there, keeping the chassis planted through a combination of rear axle steering and adaptive suspension that reads the road surface up to 500 times every second. This is a car engineered not just to be fast in a straight line, but to feel completely controlled while doing it, which is exactly what separates a Turbo S from every other performance trim in Porsche's lineup. Step inside and the drama continues in a quieter, more deliberate way. Porsche kept the analog rev counter as a tribute to tradition, even as the rest of the dashboard transforms into a fully digital curved display stretching across the width of the cabin. Racing bucket seats come wrapped in a new lightweight carbon-backed shell, shaving weight in places most manufacturers simply wouldn't bother touching anymore. Every material choice here screams intentionality, because in a Turbo S, even the smallest detail is expected to justify its own existence. But here's the twist I promised you at the beginning. While every other channel is obsessing over horsepower figures and top speed claims, they're completely missing the detail that's about to redefine what the name Turbo S actually means going forward. Porsche made the controversial decision to shift a significant portion of this car's performance identity toward electrification, and industry insiders are now suggesting future Turbo S variants may never return to a purely combustion setup again. That's not a small technical footnote buried in a spec sheet. That's Porsche quietly closing the door on an entire era, and choosing to do it through the most iconic, most emotionally charged performance trim in their entire lineup. And that's exactly why this car matters so much right now, more than any Turbo S that's come before it. The 2027 911 Turbo S isn't just an update, it's Porsche's clearest signal yet about where performance driving is headed, whether traditionalists are fully ready for it or not. If this breakdown gave you real insight into where this car is actually headed, make sure you're subscribed, because next we're comparing this against the Turbo S e-hybrid variant, and that comparison is going to spark some genuinely serious debate among fans.